everyone, and welcome back to Major Decisions. I'm your host, Ashlynn, and today I have a new guest. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Madi Scott.
What major are we going to be talking about today, Maddie?
Business marketing.
Business marketing, perfect. So, Maddie, I normally bring like juniors or seniors onto the show just because they've been in the program a little bit longer, have had a little bit more classes. But Maddie's really got a vision for herself, and she's been really working hard on what she wants to do and, trying to implement that. So I thought that was a really interesting perspective. And so I wanted to bring you in here today.
Awesome.
So Maddie's also a townie, which if you don't know what that means, it means you're from this area. So Maddie, tell me a little bit about why you chose SEMO and how did you make it like your home or in a different sense from where you grew up?
So I originally did not want to go to SEMO. I was like, I want to get out of this town and just like do my own thing. And then I was like touring colleges and I hated all of them. And I was like, nope, I can't do this. I realized I cannot be away from my mom and my dad that long. So on the car ride back, I was like, I can't do this. I'm just going to go to SEMO. And like my sister gave me a tour and I was like, I really like the campus. And so my parents made me live in like the dorms, which like was the best decision because you really do get your own life. And so anytime I wanted to go home, I could, but I got to do my own thing. Cape and Jackson are like two different worlds.
Yeah.
So really it was just kind of like living my own life. Like it was like I was at Mizzou or something, just doing my own thing.
And even Cape is like, there's like a college side of Cape and there's like a town side of Cape. So it's like really bizarre because I'm from an hour away and I've only known the town side of Cape. And I wasn't excited to come to SEMO either because I was like, I lived around Cape my whole life, blah, 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 blah. And then when I got here, I was like, dang, this is completely different.
Oh, yeah. It's just downtown Cape and town, like, where, like, everything else is two different worlds, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Maddie, how did you settle on business marketing? What was that process like?
So when I came to college, I wanted to do speech pathology. I don't know why. It's just something that came to my mind. And then I was taking the classes, and I'm like, this is not for me. No way. And so my dad was just kind of like, I think you'd be good in business. Let's just give that a try. And so I started getting my foot into that. And then last summer, I got a job. And so it was like kind of went out perfectly. And so.
Yeah. What would you say to people? Because I feel like a lot of times people come into college with this idea of like, for some reason I want to be this. And then you get in here and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if that's what I want to do. What kind of advice would you give to those people?
Really like just testing out like different classes and just that first year is like people say just take gen eds. I definitely agree with that because you really get to find out the classes that you just like really enjoy. And so I found like hobbies that I can one day enjoy with like speech pathology, but in the whole scheme of things, like I found out what I was good at.
That makes sense for sure. So business marketing, there are different avenues of business. What are those at SEMO, and how does marketing differ from those?
So there's business management, which is business management and marketing are really similar, but really I did marketing because everybody always says I can talk their ear off and I can sell them anything.
You can.
So, like even growing up and like I don't know why I always assumed like business was just kind of like an office job, and then I realized business is kind of like the whole world, and so I can do anything with it. And so with marketing, anything I envision, I can sell it to people, and so that's kind of where my mind went to when I picked it.
Perfect. What kind of classes have you started in, and like what has been the process between switching from those gen eds to those core classes?
It's a huge change. This semester was like my first classes with business marketing, and it hit me upside the head. Everybody always says like business is an easy major, like you can coast through. No, I was struggling. Accounting has really hit me hard, but I see like the workings in it and like how I can use it when I get older. Like if I do ever want to own my own business, which is like my hope, I'm gonna need to know those like core foundations.
For sure. So you said there's accounting, is there any other like prerequisites, what classes do people have to expect to take in order to get in this program?
There's accounting, there's business statistics, there is a bunch of different, I can't even, I'm blanking right now thinking about it, but the first class I took was business, world business, and it's you take 4 different modules, and it's just talking about each different one. And so there's management, marketing, accounting, and one other that I can't think of, but it kind of gives you a taste of each one. And so if you want to minor in any of them, then it's you get to talk to those professors and kind of find out more.
Gotcha. Do you have to minor with this major?
No.
Okay, so that's a good thing. Most majors you have to like find out something else to do with your major, so that's really interesting. So what classes have you taken this semester?
This semester I've taken Accounting 1, Business Stats 1, Micro, and Business Law.
And how, like, are these going to be professors that you're going to have throughout your entire, time at college, you think? And, how are they, to their students as well?
Accounting, usually they say, like, do you get a different one each time? I only had to take Accounting 2, which I'm like, thank you, Lord, for that. But business statistics, my professor, I cannot pronounce his last name, but he teaches different courses, and I think he's one of my favorite teachers just because he's so accommodating to all of his students. I'm always just like, can I have an extra day on this homework? And he's like, sure, yeah, it's like totally okay. And like he really like knows that we have our life and we have our school, and so he's really good like with balancing with that.
Perfect. What, like, is this program like a really big program? Is there a lot of people, or do you think you'll see the same people in class to class?
Definitely, it's a wide variety of students, but you pretty much see the same people. Like every once in a while, you see like 2 or 3 people. You're like, I have 3 classes with them. I have one girl. I have accounting, business stats, and then business law. And it's like we don't know each other, but like I know we're in the same class.
Yeah. So you said that there are different types of business, because I know there's like entrepreneurship as well. Do you guys all take the same base classes and then it kind of splits into different courses?
So kind of like what I'm doing now is like accounting and business 1, like, and all of that stuff is like the core. And then after next semester is when the branches kind of go out.
Gotcha. And what classes? So I'm obviously assuming that you're going to be taking more marketing classes.
So I'm going to have to take business marketing and business management, not next semester, but so a year from now. Because since I changed my major, I was a year late kind of, but I'm still graduating on time. But I'm just like, a lot of people who knew and started out with business, they're like a semester ahead of me. So
Gotcha. And, okay, what is your vision for yourself throughout, you're getting this degree? What do you want to do with it?
So right now I work at Magnolia's Bridal Boutique, and so the hope, like I've kind of talked with my boss, and it's crazy like how fast everything's gone there, because I haven't even worked there a year, but I've already like taken on the manager position, and it's just crazy. Like I feel like it's my own business right now, and so the hope is that once I graduate, I'll get the chance to invest into the business and become a full-time partner.
That's awesome.
So it's like I have like my vision right now. Lord willing, but right now it's like hard to focus on classes because I'm like, I already know what I'm doing. Like, why am I focusing on this? But my boss, she's always just like, you never know what's gonna happen. Like, we hope for the best, but
also like you're gonna find skills throughout those classes that are gonna be so helpful, down the road. One day you'll be like, oh, I remember learning this in class.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else can you do with this major?
I always like my dad said, like you can do anything with business. I haven't thought of like other jobs because I'm like have my eyes like set right now. But I know that there's like in the Marquette Tower there is I can't think of the name, but it's like an office that works with Uber Eats and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like Cof Effects, something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
But there's jobs there that I could go with it and work on the marketing side of that and the branding. But with business marketing especially, there's always positions for it because brands are always looking to market themselves better than their competitors.
Yeah, so that's another question I was going to ask. So in this major, is there like a way for you to like go out of college and you can work in marketing and then you could also work in, on a business side of things? Or is it like kind of this idea of where they want somebody who's like a business marketer? Or is there like, is this kind of an umbrella where you can go to many different things?
I haven't really like thought about that honestly. Like I wish I could answer that question. My guess is that I don't think there's an umbrella with business because you learn all these core foundations. Like I'm taking accounting, and obviously that has nothing to do with marketing. But with the business side, you can always use accounting and like those simple things. Because I see it now with my job. Like we do all the business and like the math of accounting, and then we send it off to our accountant. And so even though we're not doing like the official thing, we're kind of like doing those core steps.
And you're still having those skills.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about like the professors. Have you made any like relationships with them? What does that kind of look like?
With COVID, it's been like kind of hard to really know each other's faces, and but definitely, like I said, my business stats teacher is probably my favorite.
Oh, that's fun.
Professor, it's like a sit. He's awesome, and he's just like one of those like kind teachers that doesn't know like all of the students, but he tries his best to really make a connection and understand each student. One professor though, I will always stand by, is Professor Nikas. She's amazing. She's like my last gen ed, but she is with World Geography, and she is amazing. I love her so much.
Shout out, perfect. All right, so tell me a little bit. We talked about business and marketing. Why didn't you choose a different for example, I'm public relations, so I feel like this is very similar. Why did you want to do this business side?
I think because I like to control myself, and I like to take control, and so my hopes is to one day own my own business or like have that position of being in charge. And so with business marketing, that's when I can really take control. And like if I ever do want to just randomly open up a whole new business, I'll have that knowledge to do so.
Gotcha. Is there any on-campus experiences that you can take advantage of now?
So DECA is a big one. With my first semester of business classes, they kind of came in. That's where you get to see the business side of things, and you get to kind of do those workshops with it, and almost like the mock trials of businesses. And you can take like president positions and really like see how business goes, and they go to competitions, and it's a really cool organization. I haven't myself gotten involved with it just because I don't know if I'd have the time to really commit to it, but whenever they came and talked to our class, it was like really awesome to see these people, because I know they're probably going to be like awesome when they're older.
When they're older. When they're grown up.
When they're grown up. I still like to think I'm a kid.
I do
call
too.
People grown ups.
I do too. I'm like, when I grow up, I'm like, wait, I'm graduating. That doesn't make any sense. Perfect. All right. Okay, is there, in this major, do they expect you to have like some sort of internship or practicum, or is that kind of like at your own free will?
From what I've heard from some of my older like friends in the business world, you do want to get an internship probably like your senior year, just to kind of get a taste and like almost get your foot in the door of jobs, just because like they say nowadays, like it's so hard to find a job sometimes, and so I think they definitely recommend it. I'm not sure if I know certain majors really do, like fashion really make sure like you want to get a business, not a business, a internship. And so it's like going to be weird for me because I don't know how I'm going to like handle that with my job and everything. Like if I'm going to want to get an internship, or if I can kind of count this as like an internship.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're a sophomore. What kind of like is this? Do you encourage people, like as you mentioned earlier, to time to take gen eds? But like, what is kind of your encouragement now that you're a sophomore, that you're trying to figure things out, to those people who maybe are like, I have no idea what I want to do?
Definitely, one thing that was like a big thing for me is like to stop thinking about money, because you come into college and you're like, I want to make the most money when I get older, but like you have to be real. Not everybody's gonna make $1 million. Even being a business major, like I'm not gonna be a millionaire when I grow up, and like that's fine.
Grow up.
But like I just had to be real with myself. Like I think I went into speech pathology because I knew I could make like a decent amount of money. But then I was like, I don't know if I'll be truly happy with this 20 years down the line.
That's true.
And so I was just like real with myself. I knew like what I was good at, and I kind of stuck with it.
That's good. Wise words, girl. I gotta tell myself the same thing. I'm like, it's not about the money. All right. What about people who